Hey, good morning to you. Got the same good news. Jesus is Lord. Hey, the Word works. It's always the same. I'm going to start a new subject today. The great substitution. A lot of believers know that Jesus paid a price, but they don't know what price he paid. Everything. See, Jesus knew no sin. He'd never committed a sin, and yet he became sin so that my sin was on him and my unrighteousness was on him, and now I am the righteousness of God. Watch, now get this. So therefore I can come boldly to the throne room, not based on my need, not based on the fact that I'm good or bad, but based on the fact that he paid the price. Therefore I have a right to go into God's throne room, receive whatever it is. You got to get that. The substitutionary act of Jesus was awesome, and it was total. Now watch this. You know this, but you don't think about it. Jesus was never sick. I was praying about that one day. I said, Lord, you never was sick. He said, I had to resist sickness just like you do because he had a natural body. He was the Son of God, but he didn't live in that righteous state, nor in that total divine health state by the fact that he was the Son of God. He had to use his faith just like we do. But now watch. He was never sick, yet the Bible says, with his stripes we are healed, and he became sick with our sickness, so that all the sickness was on him. And get this, if it was on him, it ain't got to be on me. So that was the substitution. Jesus paid an awesome price. And a lot of good Christian people, good Baptist type folks, good Pentecostal folks, you know, they received their salvation because Jesus paid the price for it. They're going to go to heaven because Jesus paid the price for it. Well, the same price was paid for your healing, so all you got to do is receive it. What you got to do is realize it's taken care of. Now, this gets a few people upset. He also became poor. Now, Jesus was never poor. He had his own house. It was a very nice house. I can prove that to you. He started out as a child with ultra millions of dollars, because there's about 150 of those wise men that brought camel loads of good to him. Yet, he never had to take up an offering. He never begged. And in every situation where there was a need, he was ready to supply the need. Yet the Bible says, for my sake, your sake, he became poor, that through his poverty you might be rich. Great substitution. So hey, I'm going to take rich rather than poor, just like I'm going to take sinlessness and righteousness, just like I'm not going to take unrighteousness and having to go to hell. I'm going to take riches, wealth and riches shall be in my house. I'm going to take that because Jesus paid the price for it. Now, Jesus also suffered so that you don't got to. The Bible talks about the sufferings of the Lord. And people all the time in the church go around saying, well, you know, just suffering for Jesus. No, you're not sick for Jesus. You're not broke for Jesus. You're not unrighteousness for Jesus. You're not going to hell for Jesus. So you don't have to suffer for Jesus, because he paid the price for your suffering. I want you to get this great substitution. All the things that Jesus did, we'll talk about them, you know, the next few days. But you've got to realize, since he paid the price, I don't have to. Now, I hadn't committed any horrible crime, okay? But had I committed a horrible crime and somebody else decided, we're going to go and pay the price for that. So somebody else goes down to the court and they say, you know, I'm guilty of that sin. I'm guilty of that crime. And I want to go to jail because I did it. Well, get this. Then I hadn't got to go to jail because somebody else went to jail for me. Glory be to God. Jesus went to jail for me. He went to hell for me. He became sin for me. He became unrighteous for me. He became my suffering. He became my brokenness. He became poor that I might be rich, and so many other things. So don't think you got to pay the price. Just receive what God has already done. And until I'm with you tomorrow, saints, God paid an awesome price for you. Be blessed. Know that Jesus is Lord. Thank God the Word works.